Yo, what's up everyone? The Cobismus back, and I welcome you back to another video. Today, welcome to Total Drama Disventure Camp. Today we have our 22 contestants: Trent, Tess, Gwen, Noah, Emma, Alejandro, Courtney, Duncan, Lashawna, Hunter, Ali, Fiore, Heather, uh, 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 uh Harold, Sammy, Topher, Gret, Lake, Owen, Tom, Aiden, and Crystal. So I welcome you all to this special installment of Total Drama. I know in Revenge of Proxy Island, this was the first time I used proper Total Drama and Disventure characters, and now here's the proper one, with half the contestants, I guess, being um Total Drama Disventure Camp characters, and half of them being Total Drama Island Topography Island characters. Let's just put it there. So yeah. So the first episode is just a race to try and be team captains. No one is eliminated in this episode, and I don't really have any plots for the episodes, but Ali, Hunter, Tess, I think Ali, Hunter, Trent, and Ali, Hunter, Trent, and Tess would stay together. I guess Gwen would join in as well. Noah, Emma, and Harold, and Lake, I guess would be a 4. Courtney, Duncan, Ashawna, Sammy, and Topher would be in a group. Fiore, Heather, Ali, and Alejandro, and Gret would be teaming up, because I'm going to put this simply, and this will only be canon in my universe. Heather and Alejandro is the mother and father of Fiore. Weird, but I'm gonna stick with it. And then Owen, Tom, Aiden, and Crystal are 4. Why do I have Crystal's contestant? It's because I had 21 contestants, not 22 contestants, so I included also Crystal. So the people that would make it are Noah and Trent. So yeah. Okay, I'm back. Wait one sec. As I was saying, this would lead into episode 2, which, Noah and Trent choose the teams. Noah will, of course, choose Emma. Trent chooses Tess. Weird, but it works. Noah picks... Noah would pick Owen, of course. Trent would choose Hunter. Noah would pick Crystal, because he could use Crystal's power, because Chris is Crystal's father, so that she could work that. Trent chooses Ali. Noah chooses Alejandro. Trent chooses Gret. Noah chooses Heather. Trent chooses Tom. Noah picks Fiore. Trent chooses Duncan. Noah picks Gwen. Trent chooses Harold. Noah would choose Lashawna. Trent would pick Courtney. Noah would pick Lake. Trent would pick Sammy. Noah would pick Aiden. And Trent would pick Topher. So these are the teams. I don't know why there's a line here. Weird. And this will lead to the next episode. Sorry, I had to do that. This will lead to the next episode, which will lead to the second episode. And in my case, by how many strong people they have, like Emma, Crystal, Alejandro, Heather, Lashawna, I think the Crazy Cards would win, which would lead them to go to elimination. And Trent would be like a proper team leader and say, What do you guys think? Courtney says Harold. Duncan also agrees with Harold. Tom says, was the elimination first in Pox 2 Island, like the Revenge Pox 2 Island? I think he's a good person in this case, and he should stay for longer. Then the rest agree. Red says, well, what's going on with those two? And Sammy and Topher are making out. Courtney says, something sparked in them from Revenge on Poxu Island, which made them fall in love with each other. And Cross says, don't make it like Jeff and Bridget. Sammy and Topher says, we're not, it's just we have like a connection that we just do. Trent says, then, who do we vote out then? I'm trying to say, should we let Chris choose? He's gonna pick off one of us, maybe. Okay, but we'll go with that. And then it goes to elimination, and Trent says, we've all picked, and say, Chris, who do you want to choose? Chris says this right away, and says, Gret. So Gret is eliminated, and Gret is kind of confused. Why? And Chris says, I'm joking. Harold. Harold is gone, and he says, why? He says, never mind. Tom, you need to go. And Tom says, why? Chris says, Crystal asked me to, because she kind of hates your guts for being a spy. And Tom says, fine, but you better get me back for comebacks. Chris sighs, and lets it happen. This will lead to episode 3, and Nora and Emma are sleeping together in a one above Owen. Crystal and, well, Heather, I think Heather and Fiore would share a bed. Alejandro would be above them. Lake and Aiden would most likely share the same bunk bed. Sean and Gwen would use the same bunk bed. Trent and Tess would use the same bunk bed. Hunter and Ali might share the same bed with Grat on top of them. Duncan and Courtney would be bunk bed buddies, I guess. Harold would be above Sammy and Topher. So yeah. So episode 3, I think will be I'm gonna call it the paintball challenge since I got no ideas what to call it. And first elimination. Well, I'm just gonna put the eliminated people that get shot first. Harold, easy target. Crystal, easy target. Aiden, Lake, Sammy and Topher, Heather, Gret, Alejandro and Fiore, Owen, Tess, Hunter, Duncan, Emma, Noah, Ali, Courtney, Gwen, and Lashawna. So the Screaming Bass win this one. And this leads to the other team going into elimination. So, yeah. I think this is right, I think. I need to make sure this first. Yeah, here, 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 here. Wait, no, here, 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 here. There we go, there's more players here. Yeah, so, Crystal says, why do we vote on Fiore? For Harry and Alejandro, say no, since, because she's our kid and we want to stay with her. Crystal says fine, and Aiden says, well, what about you, Gwen? You kind of were one of the first people out. Gwen says no, and she becomes scared. Heather and Alejandro say, what are you, Lake? Lake says, oh my god, I was actually one of the first people out. And everyone just buys this and votes out Lake. Lake gives Aiden a hug and say, James will be proud of you. And Aiden smiles. And Yeah. The next episode, which is gonna be episode 4, I don't know what would be the challenge. I might just go with the fairy tale challenge from Action. So yeah. And I think the Screaming Bass would lose and the Crazy Cups win. Only because the technicality of Harold just cheating and trying to get Courtney out again with the rigged votes, but Chris would actually know and get himself eliminated in this episode. So yeah. But Chris says that means someone from the Cruising Cups needs to go and everyone just goes for Gwen with no, I'm joking. Nah, I wouldn't do that on Gwen. This would lead to the next. Oh, come on. Come on. Okay, there. Get them down there. There we go. This will lead to the next episode. Sorry, I had to put that fast. So, in this case, Heather would talk to Crystal if they would like to join a alliance, because they think Noah is a very annoying leader, but he has the protection of Emma, Owen, Gwen, LaShawna, and Aiden. Crystal says yes, but on one condition, that we get LaShawna out first because she is so annoying. Heather and Alejandro agree immediately since Heather hates LaShawna's guts and Alejandro just kind of just doesn't like him. Fiore also says, yeah, bleep. This will actually be a proper swear word. LaShawna. Heather and Alejandro are shocked that she just swore, and Crystal says it's fine. I've seen her swore before. And Heather and Alejandro are kind of proud of her, even though she just doesn't really care. But the Crazy Cops lose again, and Crystal, Heather, Alejandro, and Fiore vote for LaShawna. Noah, Emma, Owen, and Aiden vote for I guess Alejandro, and I think LaShawna would vote for herself since she just wants to be by the technicality that she forgot that they were voting, and she gets herself eliminated here, which is kind of stupid for her elimination and her earliest. But I have to go with ways to get the easy ones off this case. Sorry. This lead to episode 6, which would be a proper food fight. And people that excel with this, of course, Heather, Alejandro, Owen, and well, I think Owen will actually get the team maybe to lose, but Gret is pretty much in their eating habits here, and everyone gets so annoyed with her they all agree if they lose they vote out Gret, and they do, which would lead to Gret's elimination. And she says, "Why am I out so early? You ate all the food!" And Gret is so annoyed, about to attack Topher because he said it, but it's too late now. This will lead to the next episode, which Chris says the double elimination on both teams, so they both have to vote someone out. Crystal, Heather, Alejandro, and Fiore say easy target, Aiden. And Noah, Emma, Owen, Gwen say Fiore is pretty much making their team lose, so they might have to vote for her. Aiden is confused which side to be on. Trent, Tess, Hunter, and Ali say Courtney. Sammy, Topher, Courtney, and Duncan say Ali. And then it will be 4 votes to Fiore, 4 votes for Aiden, and Aiden would vote Heather, so that's 1 vote each, so it's a tiebreaker between Aiden and Fiore. But Heather and Alejandro would absolutely make Fiore win, so this would lead to Aiden's elimination. I think it's its earliest, which would make him shocked, but he would say, of course, the villains would ally, and say to Noah, Emma, Owen, and Gwen to try and get the rest out. Crystal is shocked by this and says, "Yeah, you guys are gonna be stuck nearly eliminating yourselves." So she just leaves and tells, "Can I join you guys? I don't want to be voted off because I want to win the million. Well, I want to win the secondary prize to get my dad's respect." And Noah and Emma are kind of um respectful to this and let her, while Owen and Gwen are confused. So this will lead to episode. Oh yeah, on the other team, most votes would go to Sammy, because Courtney Duncan would actually betray Topher and Sammy and vote for Sammy, while Trent, Tess, Hunter, and Ali also vote for Sammy. So this would also lead to Sammy's elimination, which makes Topher angry at them. And there would be no elimination in episode 8 as well. So yeah. Episode 9 is gonna be team it's gonna be male versus female. So it would be team boys versus team girls in this case. So I think we have nearly an equal amount, as you can see maybe. But in the technicality, there's one missing. So yeah, Fiore would be standing back, so she would let the girls win, in like letting the girls have some fun. And of course, the girls win, so they have to vote someone off from the boys team. And Noah, Trent, and Hunter vote for Topher. Duncan, Owen, and Alejandro also vote for Topher. Topher votes for Owen, and this will still lead to Topher's elimination. And then the teams get back to their normal states after this, which is weird, but I can still see this kind of happening in a way. So yeah, Gwen is supposed to be there. Duncan's supposed to be there. Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay, this would lead to episode 10, which would mean campers. This will be a reward challenge since we have the nearly amount of players for the merge. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 2 people, 4 people need to go in this case. So no elimination. That means there's gonna be 1 elimination every round of the next one. So episode 11. This would be the crazy cops losing in this case, and Noah, Emma, Gwen, and Owen, and Crystal would vote for Fiore. Heather, Fiore, and Alejandro would vote Crystal. But it's too late now, and Fiore is eliminated. And saying to her mum and dad, "You guys can do this, even though you won a million for me." And Heather and Alejandro are shocked, but saying that we kind of spended it before you two, like, before you were born. And Fiore is shocked about this, but doesn't care to say right. This would lead to the next episode, which would be another elimination for the Crazy Cops, since they've got 2 strong players on the other team. But Noah finds the reverse card, and Chris says, "I've got the reverse card, and I would like to put it onto the other team." Chris allows this, and someone has to be eliminated on the other team. Trent, Tess, Hunter, and Ali vote for Duncan. Duncan and Courtney vote for Ali. So that means Duncan is eliminated. Sorry, Duncan. In episode 13, it would be, I think this would be a dodgeball challenge, and the Crazy Cuts would still lose. So Noah, Emma, Gwen, Owen, and Crystal vote for Heather. No, I'm joking. They vote for Alejandro. Heather and Alejandro vote for Crystal, but Alejandro is still eliminated. Sorry. Yeah. So lead to the next episode, which is the episode before Calm of the Storm. BRB. As I was saying, this challenge would be a purge challenge, and it would be the last person on the Screaming Bass to make it, which is sadly Hunter. So Hunter is eliminated this episode, sadly, which will make Ali sad, and Tess would actually comfort Tess, and Trent would comfort her while she's crying. And Hunter says, "It's okay, win this for me, babe." And they have a kiss. Lovely. This will lead to the merge in episode 15. And, yeah. And because it's just the merge, there wouldn't be an elimination in the first one. So, yeah. Trent, Tess, and Ali agree with Courtney, Noah, and Emma and Gwen to see if they can try and get out Heather. Because Heather's starting to be more season 1 Heather, so she needs to go. Owen is on his own side with Crystal, because Owen and Crystal are like good friends now, ever since like first season. And Owen's kind of been like a trainer for Crystal, like Priya and her parents were in a way. But not like more like complimentive at all. Okay. So, Noah and Emma would get a annuity. So Noah, Emma, Trent, Tess, Ali, Courtney, Gwen, Owen, and Crystal would vote to Heather, and Heather would vote for Crystal, and Heather is eliminated. I better actually dissolve the teams as well. There goes dissolving the teams. Sorry, Sorry, Fiore and Alejandro. But Heather's coming back. And episode 17, which will reveal the comebacks, who are Tom, of course, and which would be Tom and Duncan, because we need more boys here. That would be 1, 2, 3. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boys and 6 girls. So yeah, and it would be Trent and Duncan. Trent, Duncan, and Tom get immunity, and then Owen, Crystal, Gwen, Courtney, Ali, Tess sadly have to vote for Noah. So Noah is eliminated, but Emma says, I'm going with. I don't care. I want to be with Noah, and I'm going out with him." So both Noah and Emma are eliminated. Sorry. That means because of this, um, Chris is so annoyed and makes the next challenge a war challenge, since Emma was also counted as eliminated. So, episode 19, Tom, Tess, and Ali and Trent make an alliance. Duncan, Courtney, and Gwen make an alliance for Crystal and Owen. So yeah, to try and end the teaming that's going on their side. So Trent, Tom. Okay, when it goes to elimination, Trent, Tom, Tess, and Ali vote for Crystal. But Courtney, Duncan, Gwen, Crystal, and Owen vote for Trent. So Trent is eliminated in this episode, sadly. But it has to be this way. Deal with it. And then Chris says this will be a double elimination. And the last two to make it are Owen, of course, and Gwen. Which is kind of funny since they were both winners in Ireland and they're both eliminated here. But they're allowed to stay as interns since they're only since they feel like they were done dirty there. So yeah. And then episode 21, which would be and just a single elimination. And Tom, Tess, and Ali say that Courtney, I think we need to give Courtney a chance and vote out Duncan since he's already won. And Crystal's trying to get his respect from Chris, so she's got to stay. So Tom, Tess, and Ali vote for Duncan. Courtney votes for Ali, and Duncan and Crystal vote for Tess. So Duncan is eliminated once more on a technicality as well. This will lead to the final 5. So Chris says for this they get cast away again, but this time everyone else has to vote for someone else. Lake and Aiden, Sammy and Topher say that Courtney needs to come back. Gret, LaShawna, Harold, Fiore, Alejandro, Hunter, Heather, Noah and Emma, Trent, Owen, Gwen, and Duncan say Tom. So, but Tom literally uses his own reverse card and Ali gets put back, sadly. Which Tom is kind of sad doing this, but it has to be this way. So yeah. So lead to the next episode, which won't be an elimination episode, so no elimination there. So leads to episode 24, which would be a cooking challenge for Owen and Gwen. So Courtney and Crystal go in a duo, while Trent and Tess and Tom would go in a duo. And by ratings, Owen and Gwen would say Tess and Tom did well, so they win the challenge. So this would lead to elimination, and Tom and Tess vote for Courtney. Crystal has to sadly vote for Courtney as well. Courtney had to vote for Crystal, so Courtney is eliminated in episode 24 just because of this. This would lead to episode 25, which would be a purge challenge, and Tom is the last one to make it. So this would lead to the finale. Sorry I'm making this fast. I think Crystal would win the first ending and Tess would win the second ending. But to no offense, Crystal needs her respect and say, Tess, you have the money. I just needed the respect from Chris. And Tess says, I'm splitting it with Trent. Trent comes onto stage and hugs Tess. And she says, I will give a quarter of it also to Ali and Hunter. And they're happy as well. Crystal says, Chris, am I allowed to split the money with anyone? Chris says yes. And splits it with Courtney, Duncan, Gwen, and Noah and Emma. And they're happy as well, at least. So, yeah. So, this is the order I've come to. Yes, this is kind of stupid. But it works. You know it works when you see this. I think it was 18. I think it was 17 when they got eliminated. So, yeah. Yeah, okay, there we go. So, that is it. Sorry, I had to make this shorter again. By the technicality, that I am very busy and I've got back pains. So most likely, I'm gonna be back definitely on Wednesday for another video, which will be a new series on Total Drama, which will be what if the lovers were different in Total Drama Island. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next time for another one. Peace out, guys. Bye.